2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Shalom Yasharallah, which means peace Israel. I'd like to start off by giving our praises, our honor, and our glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach Kodash. Yahweh, thou be the true and powerful mighty name, who the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh, or Higher. Bahashem means in the name, Yahweh Shai, thou be the true and powerful mighty name, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yeshua, or Yeshaya, and the Rachach Kodash is the Holy Spirit, according to the ancient Paleo-Hebrew tongue. I would like to give double honors unto the apostles and elders, a great millstone, who I've learned the truth of the Bible from. Peace, blessing, safety, and salutation unto the hopeful elect, and to you believers and listeners out there that came back into the faith and obedience of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And much love and respect unto you brothers pushing this gospel in sincerity and truth, risking your lives and freedom, now more so than ever. May Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai continue to bless you and your households. I'm the brother Yawan, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing is edifying to the Lord's elect. And here we go again. Here we go again. They done look what they done brought. Oh, what they say, look what the cat done drew again. Alright. C19 is spreading again as a summer wave grows across the U.S. So here they go, trying to play this card again, because the Hanta Fanta didn't work. The norovirus didn't work. Okay, you have goddamn Ebola outbreak in the land of Ham again in Africa. So hey, this devil is moving forward with their plots and their schemes, man. That's why I said we're not ignorant to Satan's devices. Okay, we're not ignorant to his, his plots and scheme. Like him. What they're trying to bring. This is just another form of them trying to control the populace again, and they're using fear to do it because they know that a lot of people were scared of this ordeal when they came on the scene 2020. So let's go into this article. By mid-August, a sore throat can feel like an out-of-season problem. Yet, while Americans return from vacations and children head back to school, how freaking convenient. The C19 is spreading across the country again. According to CDC latest estimate based on data through August 12th, 2026, infections are growing or likely growing in all 50 states. And it ain't no coincidence, because there's no such thing as coincidences, that your boy Ouchie Fauci got up on that stand and pleaded the fifth and played in all y'all people's faces. Okay? This could be a result of you people going down there to drink the juice. Okay? We're probably finally starting to activate whatever it is they been putting inside you people's bodies, and now it's starting to, work its effect, because they still trying to bring the population down. The C19 as a familiar illness to a year already crowded with infectious diseases alerts, from measles and Ebola outbreaks to foodborne illnesses linked to jalapenos. And that's right. You got foodborne illnesses linked to lettuce, salads. It's like goddamn everything that's not lab grown is now all of a sudden having all these illnesses attached to it or whatever. And I feel like they systematically doing that and orchestrating a famine. Okay, trying to get rid of stuff that we want, okay, that we need, so we can eat their Franken foods and they lab grown shit. The agency's weekly summary specifically highlights increases across the South and West, while the 50-state estimate shows that infections are already rising in the Northeast and Midwest. Activity remains low in many regions, but the direction is upward nationwide. Could this be another LD in the horizon? Do I smell another lockdown in the horizon? Who knows? Okay. But it's important to, lock in with your Yahweh Shimmy Shai. Okay. Now is not the time to be playing games. Like brother said, now is the absolute worst time for you to fall out of this truth. Okay. And it says, why is the C19 is spreading this summer? Yeah, why didn't it spread last summer or the year before that? Or earlier on in the year? The regional pattern aligns with a June 2026 CDC outlook, which anticipated more summer transmission in southern and western areas than that expected comparatively little C19 activity during the 2025 through 2026 winter. According to the agency, those regions may now have less recent immunity from infection. The Northeast and Midwest experienced more winter activity and were expected to have smaller summer increases. That explanation remains tentative. C19 can peak in the summer or winter, with timing varying from one region to another. Researchers continue to examine how waning immunity, new variants, human behavior, and environmental conditions interact to shape the wave. Ultimately, if you ask me, they probably putting it in the food and shit. That's probably why they recalling everything, so they can, put their juice or put, these infections inside the food. Because you don't have now that a lot of people are privy onto what Ouchie Fauci and them had going on a few years back, a lot of people are real less hesitant on going down there and rolling their sleeves up. But this is all biblical prophecy, man, not Acts. I wanted Luke 21:11. Luke 21:7, and they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be, and what sign will there be when these things come to pass, going into Yahweh's second coming? And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and the time draweth near. Go ye not after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, we've been hearing a lot about that with the Strait of Hormuz, Russia and Ukraine. Okay. Be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then he said unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and we have that. And great earthquakes. They saying that this is a new record with the most 7-point earthquakes happening within a small window of time. If you cannot see what days we're in, what time we're in, you deserve to eat a nuke. You deserve to swallow a missile, man. You deserve everything that's coming down your pipe, because it's clear as day as to what is going on in the world. Okay? In famines, they're trying to orchestrate one. And pestilences, the C19 and all these other diseases fall under the pestilence umbrella. And fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Just had the eclipse, okay? had the planetary alignment. It was some and a meteor shower that all happened last week. Hey man, we here. I don't care what you people got to say. Let's go back to the article. So the CDC builds its state estimates from emergency department data and model changes in transmission from week to week. One output is an estimate of how many additional infections arise on average from each affected person. Wastewater offers a separate early indication. Labs can detect viral material released by people with and without symptoms, sometimes before increasing infections become visible in doctors' offices and hospitals. Wastewater can show whether the virus is becoming more common in the community, but it cannot show exactly how many people are affected. Traditional cases Traditional case total has become less complete as more people use at-home tests whose results often remain unreported. To fill in the gaps, the CDC compares emergency department visits, lab results, hospital data, and wastewater transmission. Yeah, and people are taking these at-home tests because they don't want you people all in their business. Transmission and severe outcomes are not increasing at the same pace. According to the CDC, national hospitalization peaks have declined since the 2023-2024 winter. Possible reasons include greater population immunity, the absence of a dominant variant with pronounced immune escape properties, and potentially lower disease severity. So it sounds like to me that they making up these numbers because they're guesstimating. Going off wastewater, which they just said that those numbers aren't really concrete because they can't tell how many people it is. People taking at-home tests, they're not going reporting it to their doctors. It's all through, man. So one negative result from a home antigen test can miss an infection in its early stages. See, the FDA recommends that people with symptoms test again 48 hours later. People without symptoms should take 3 tests in total, with 48 hours between each one. And then that's what's going to drive people to go back to the hospital because they like, man, I don't got time to be spending all this money on these at-home tests. Esau think he's slick. People at elevated risk should contact a clinician soon after symptoms appear because Paxlovid must begin within 5 days and Remdesivir within 7, according to CDC. Separately, the FDA has approved, it looks like a medication to help prevent C19 after exposure in people ages 12 and older, and when started within 72 hours. CDC guidance advises people with respiratory illness to stay home until their symptoms have improved for at least 24 hours and fever ended without medication. Yeah, not offering any medical advice or medical information. Okay, this should be used for informational purposes only. So let's get a few more scriptures and I'm going to close out. Jeremiah 29:17, thus said Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and pestilence, and will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. Okay? And that's what's coming. Okay? Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai sending those spirits created for vengeance to judge the people, man. And for y'all to get y'all, in hopes for y'all to get y'all act together, but y'all not. Okay? Because y'all not mindful of the scourges. Let's go here. Revelation 6:7. And when he opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth. Okay? That's not the one I wanted. I guess that was the one I wanted, Salakia. But hey, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai sending these plagues upon the earth. Okay? 2 Ezra 15:5, behold, said Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore said Yahweh, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. So, yeah, the Heavenly Father is doing all this because of the wickedness that's going on in the world. And you people are not going to fix it because y'all overly wicked. Ephesians 6:11, put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness and high places. Right. And that's what we're dealing with, man. We're dealing with these elites, man. Okay, that's why we got to continue to pray and fast, okay, and cleave onto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because that's the only way we're going to be delivered and saved and make it through this, man. We can't do it on our own merit. Verse 13, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. So that's why, you need to use this grace period wisely so that you can do all that you can to stand against the devil, man. By reading, studying, cleaving unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, doing that which is pleasing unto him, building up that spiritual bank account so that you can make withdrawals in the evil day. Okay? Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereto. Yeah, because you got to be on your watch. That way you won't get caught with your pants down. With all perseverance and supplication to this for all the saints. So, hey, like I said, that's the only way we're going to make it through this is by the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And if you're not covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh gives his mercy unto you, hey, you cooked, bro. You cooked. So, I'm going to go ahead and end it, Lord willing. It was edifying, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom.